For more, we are joined by Rob Shuter, host of the Naughty But Nice podcast. Rob, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Good to see you, my friend.
Set the stage for us ahead of King Charles' speech here. Why is this so significant?
Yeah, this is a really big royal visit. The king hasn't been the king that long. His mother was on the throne for many, many years. His mom was the last person to do this in 1977, so a long time ago. And so this is going to be a big moment for Charles, a big moment for the royal family, and a big moment for Canada. I think people are really excited about seeing the king and hearing what he has to say.
Yeah, do you buy Charles making a show of support for Canada amidst Mr. Trump's comments about Canada becoming the 51st state? Is there anything to that?
Yeah, there is. This is not happening just by coincidence. He was invited by the Canadian Prime Minister to come and open Parliament, so Charles was very happy to get that invitation. It's tricky here. He doesn't want to alienate President Trump, who can be very vengeful. The UK is currently trying to negotiate a trade deal with Mr. Trump, and so he doesn't want to alienate the USA, but at the same time, too, he really wants to show his support to Canada. He is the head of state of Canada as well as the UK. So he's got a tricky tightrope that he is walking here. But I'm told he's going to do it very delicately, but going to make it very clear that Canada is independent.
Yeah, it's very interesting because President Trump also has this Golden Dome plan that very much depends heavily on Canadian cooperation. Would the Crown itself ever play a behind-the-scenes diplomatic role in persuading Canada to join this massive defense effort regarding the Golden Dome?
That's a really good question. So publicly facing, the royals try to stay out of politics. However, behind the scenes, for centuries, the royals have been really, really powerful. And both his mother and her father, they definitely had their finger on the pulse. And it would be naive to pretend that they didn't have their own views, they had their own opinions. And so they do try to sway policy. And I think Charles is going to be doing the same now. When he was the Prince of Wales, he was quite political. He had lots of thoughts about the environment, about healthcare, about mining. And so this is not that surprising to people that know Charles.
I also want to get your take on comments from Prince Harry saying that he does want to reconcile with his family. We're seeing this BBC interview where Harry says, quote, "I don't know how much longer my father has." Is this a strikingly personal quote about King Charles' cancer?
Yeah, the palace was really upset about this quote. My insiders tell me that even though Charles is going to be in the same continent as his son, they are not going to meet. So Charles is going to be over here in America, North America, but he's not going to see his son. It's tricky. This relationship is at the point now where I'm not sure what would solve it. They don't trust Harry. They don't like him doing interviews. They've never really forgiven him for doing this book. So while he says he wants to reunite with the family, he's going about it in a way that makes it very difficult for the royals to ever trust him.
Yeah, and since stepping down in 2020, Harry's made fewer than 10 trips back to the UK. He says he can't see a world where he brings his family back there. Do you think security, he's talked a lot about the revoking of security for him and his family. Is that really the main issue here, or is there something much deeper?
It's much, much deeper. You know, Taylor Swift can go to Britain. Madonna can go to Britain. They hire private security. When heads of states go to Britain, they bring their own security too. And so the thought of him being able to rent the British police force, he said he would be willing to pick up the bill. It just doesn't work like that. We can't get into a state, or at least the Brits believe this, where rich people can turn up in London and hire the police. That isn't how it works. My insiders tell me he will be protected in Britain. They do not want anything to happen to him. It would be a major, major catastrophe. And so Harry's very, very safe in Britain. And the Brits are insulted about this too. He can travel around the world without the protection of the British police force, but yet he doesn't feel safe in London. This makes people really angry.
All right, Rob Shuter, really appreciate the insight. Thank you so much for your time.
Good to see you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.